So one of the most popular forms of letting is through our trademark lettings arm, SkyLet. Now this deals with all of our short-term lets across the UK. The short-term let is straightforward. It's where we let through platforms such as Airbnb and Booking.com to holidaymakers looking for a weekend, a week away, or even workers who are looking for a 2 to 3 week stay in a local area. Now there are numerous advantages of letting like this. For example, if you qualify as a furnished holiday let, you actually get a number of tax benefits, such as the fact you can take the cost of wear and tear out of your gross profit. Also, the interest of your mortgage, you can take that out of your gross profit as well. Now this is not something you can do with traditional lets, and of course it lowers your tax bill at the end of the day. There are 3 conditions that you have to meet to be a furnished holiday let. The first is that your property has to be available for 210 days of the year or more. The second is your property must be let for at least 105 days of the year. And the final condition is you cannot let it consecutively for more than 30 days of the year. But of course, the main advantage of using our SkyLet service is the percentage income that you could be generating. With traditional lets, we look at circa 5% income, whereas with short-term lets, we easily think you can generate around the 10% mark. So as you can imagine, the question that we get asked more than any is, can you prove it? Well, of course we can. We obviously can't give personal information away upon clients, but we can show you what our latest SkyLet additions are achieving. So let's start from the beginning. How do we choose our SkyLet properties? Well, first of all, they're meticulously chosen by our team based on area, quality and price. You could have the best looking property, but if it's not in the right area, forget it, it's not going to let. So we look at smart city centre apartments where people want to stay all year round. We certainly don't look at holiday resorts, coastal areas, as these are seasonal and they don't make all year round lets. So cities such as London, Manchester, Liverpool, these are the greatest cities to invest in for short-term lets, simply due to the fact they've got a great leisure industry where tourism is high. Of course, they've got sporting events. Manchester has the 2 biggest football clubs in the world. They've got concerts in the area, world famous museums, exhibitions, and a whole lot more. So this means that they get visitors from all over the globe. Now, at the time of this video, which is September 2022, our latest addition is a batch of properties in a mill development in Manchester. Now you can see that on the map here. This development is close to a tram stop, New Islington, and New Islington is only 1 stop away from the main station, which is Manchester Piccadilly. Now you can see from the tram stop that's highlighted that the blue line is key, because the blue line, which is the New Islington tram stop, goes right the way through the city. It goes from Manchester City's football ground, right through Deansgate, down to Cornbrook, right the way through to Trafford, and of course across to Media City. So if we focus on one of these particular units, and the client purchased this back in April 2022, it took us 2 weeks to get up and running. We got that property fully furnished, cleaned, we got the linen set up and professionally photographed within 2 weeks. And once this was complete, we could then upload the property onto our PMS, which is our property management system, and that sends the property out to all of our listing portals. In this case, we chose to do it just on Airbnb and Booking.com. Now at this point, the property could be booked. Importantly also, we have software which assists with the pricing. So when there's a concert, a football match, whatever gets announced, the reality is that we can't be on hand all of the time to change this pricing. So we have software that does it for us. So when there is an event like that, the pricing will increase automatically. This increases the return on your investment. Now the property price in question is 160,000 and it's a 1-bed. And you can see from these images that it's tastefully decorated. But in my opinion, we can still make some aesthetic improvements such as pictures on the walls and soft furnishings. However, we had to stick to the client's budget. Despite the fact that we can make improvements, we had stacks of booking within days. Now you can see from this graphic on the screen now that the months from September to November, the amount of bookings we had is close to £4,000 worth for the client. Now this is based on now, it's not taking into account further bookings that are going to take place over the next couple of months. But if we just take what we're getting now, pro rata, we'll be making £16,000 per year for this client. That's a 10% return on his investment. Now, of course, we think we can get much more than this, and we think further bookings over the coming months and some slight additions to the property, we can easily be pushing £20,000 a year, which is over a 12% return on your investment. So I hope this gives you some insight into our SkyLet process, and as always, anything you need, feel free to get in touch directly. Take care.